All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video. Make sure you check out Pig and a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in Marin from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Wednesday through Sunday in Emeryville. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. All right, one of my favorite draft guys is Dane Brugler. And I think Brugler, who writes for The Athletic, is really one of the best draft guys there is. And going through his draft guide after the draft, just looking how comprehensive his scouting reports really are. And I thought, let's do a video on Brugler's scouting reports. And let's start with Ji'Ayir Brown. Ji'Ayir Brown, the safety out of Penn State. Niners took him in the 3rd round. He was their first pick in the 2023 NFL draft. Ji'Ayir Brown's really interesting. 5'11", 203-pound safety. One of 4 children, grew up in North Trenton, New Jersey, attended Trenton Central High School, was a 4-year letterman at Trenton Central, and was the team captain his final 2 years there. Played cornerback. Junior year and senior year, he was the team captain, and he was a first-team All-State player as a senior. 2017, he wound up scoring a touchdown in 6 different ways in that 17 season. He scored one rushing. He had a touchdown receiving. He had a touchdown passing. He had an interception return he took back for a touchdown. He had a kick return touchdown, and he had a punt return touchdown. 6 different ways of scoring a touchdown. Ji'Ayir Brown did that in 2017. He also lettered in basketball, and he wasn't just decent basketball player. He was a star. He averaged 12 points, 10 boards, and 7 steals per game. That 7 steals per game basically set the New Jersey State record for steals in a season by a high school basketball player. So then he winds up going to Lackawanna Junior College, and he started alongside Jaquan Brisker, who, and together they led Lackawanna Junior College to an incredible record, a perfect season in 2018. They won 11-0. And Ji'Ayir Brown became a JUCO All-American. Then Brisker had jumped to Penn State, and Ji'Ayir followed Brisker to Penn State. These guys are not more than just, teammates. I mean, more than just friends. I mean, these guys, Jaquan Brisker and Ji'Ayir Brown are really, really tight. So Brisker winds up at Lackawanna. Ji'Ayir goes to Lackawanna. Then Brisker jumps from Lackawanna to Penn State. Ji'Ayir Brown follows him to Penn State. Great story about how Ji'Ayir Brown's mother, Joy, nicknamed him Tig, short for Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, the cartoon, because he was always, as a little kid, bouncing around. I thought that was one of the interesting anecdotes that a lot of people had on the different draft coverages. But then Brown goes to Penn State, and he played 5 seasons there in Happy Valley and was invited to the Senior Bowl this last year. But what a career. He was a 2-year starter at Penn State, had 153 total tackles in 35 games for the Nittany Lions. Played for the defensive coordinator, the great Manny Diaz. And Diaz loved Ji'Ayir Brown. He called him a warrior, said he was an ultimate warrior. And Ji'Ayir Brown's an interesting guy. 10 and an eighth inch hands, big hands. Didn't run a great 40 time, 4.65 40. The Niners, I don't think, are that concerned about that. They would have rather seen 4.45, don't get me wrong. But he's instinctive, and he knows how to play, and he's a smart player, and he's flowing towards the football. And then you look at the 10-yard split, and it's 1.56, and that's a good 10-yard split. That shows quickness. Then you flip on the film, and Ji'Ayir Brown, man, I mean, he plays the run, and he comes up aggressively against the run. He's quick to read runner pass pre-snap. He's got natural instincts in coverage. And this guy's just a tone setter he was a tone setter for Manny Diaz on his defense. He was the captain senior year. They were just basically saying this guy's the most driven, competitive player on the entire team. He played primarily cover 6. So if you know your coverages, and this last year at Penn State, that's a combo of cover 4, cover 2. I mean, people, you'll hear people say quarter, half. That's cover 6, quarter, half. And he played that deep sideline, that deep quadrant to the field in the cover 6, and he played it expertly. This is the only safety, by the way, in the entire draft to have double-digit sacks or double-digit interceptions, I should say, in each of the last 2 seasons. He's had 10 in each of the last 2 seasons. So for the 49ers, why was Ji'Ayir Brown such a natural fit? Because they lost Jimmy Ward and they lost Emmanuel Mosley. And when they lost those 2 guys, they lost their alphas. They didn't just lose guys. They lost their leaders on the back end. And that's what Ji'Ayir Brown is. He's got great instincts. He's a tone setter on defense. He's driven. He's competitive. He's got high character. He's a tone setter. He's an alpha. And for the 49ers, he really fits the bill. So definite great scouting report. From Brugler. And how the Niners going to use him? Are they going to use him as a free safety in the deep middle in the cover 3? I think that's probably what you're going to see. Will he be able to take the starting job away from Tayshaun Gibson? That's going to be a tall task because Gibson's a really productive safety in his own right, great defensive center fielder. But I think Ji'Ayir Brown's better than Gibson and a little bit more all-around player. And I think that's going to be one of the interesting battles to watch this summer in Santa Clara. Can the rookie Ji'Ayir Brown take the job away from the veteran Tayshaun Gibson? Niners are looking for leadership, but if Ji'Ayir Brown can step in and show that he can play the run and the pass, that he's a big play guy, that he knows the defense like the back of his hand, if he can get guys in the right spot lined up correctly and show those competitive instincts and tone setter instincts and leadership characteristics that he showed for Penn State and for Manny Diaz, then I think Ji'Ayir Brown may wind up being the starter at free safety, playing that deep middle a ton in the cover 3 and maybe even some man-to-man for Steve Wilkes alongside Talanoa Hufanga. All right, hope you enjoyed our 49er video. Ji'Ayir Brown, I mean, the one thing you can say about Brown is that, we did an interview with him. I had a chance to ask him a couple questions during the rookie minicamp, and you can just see there's a seriousness about the young man. He's driven, he's focused, he's intense. And he's a guy that, that is ready to come in and fight for a job. Some guys are kind of drift. Other guys are leaders. It comes screaming out when you talk to Ji'Ayir Brown. This guy is a tone setter. This guy's a leader. This guy, there's a reason the Penn State coaches loved Ji'Ayir Brown. There's a reason that Manny Diaz, called the guy a warrior. And I would expect that he's going to look like a whole lot come the preseason. All right, hope you enjoyed our 49er video. Check out Pig in a Pickle. Their 2 locations are in Emeryville and Corte Madera. And thanks to all of you for supporting the Krueg Show on YouTube.